Some people have asked me to make an update video about cryptocurrency. And up until now, you've probably noticed that virtually everybody who used to rave about cryptocurrency has pretty much stopped making videos, specifically Doug Polk Crypto and a couple of other people. But I specifically name him because his channel I used to watch a lot, and I don't think he's made any videos for like over a month at this point. Now, a lot of people, including myself, always thought that cryptocurrency was basically a scam, and then it morphed into a Ponzi scheme. Up until January, cryptocurrency was going wild, specifically because there was a lot of speculation, there was a lot of advertisement into it. And now Bitcoin is trading below $7,000, and it shows absolutely no signs of making a strong comeback to anywhere near $10,000. Fortunately, my family, a lot of my friends, we got in long before 2,000. Some of us got in around 5,000. So they're still up, at which point I've told pretty much everybody to just sell. And most of them have pretty much walked away with profit as long as they didn't get in above 10,000. When it hit 10,000, a lot of people did try to get in because they felt it was going to go higher. It did go higher to 18,000 and then to 19,000, but then it fell down again. And once the government got involved with Donald Trump's tax plan, I want everybody to always remember that the only reason why cryptocurrency ultimately died or is still on life support is because Donald Trump's tax plan ultimately killed them all. When the government started regulating, that is what destroyed cryptocurrency. I saw it coming. I said that it was going to be a problem. And the reason why is because the only reason why people wanted cryptocurrency in the first place is because cryptocurrency was unregulated. Even at the risk of being hacked, even at the risk of possibly losing money on their coin wallets, people didn't care about any of that. They still went in. And some people invested their house mortgages. Some people bet all types of large amounts of money. And a lot of them actually did make out because you got to remember the hype started Bitcoin moving forward at 10,000. And anybody who got in at 10,000 saw themselves make crazy gains up until about 18, 19,000. But once this shit was about to hit 20,000, that's when Donald Trump's tax policy was passed. That is when the government started making unreasonable demands on cryptocurrency. So even though Bitcoin was unregulated, even though some people felt it was a scam, even though some people were sure it was a Ponzi scheme, even me, I absolutely believe that cryptocurrency was a Ponzi scheme. The bottom line is, just like gambling on horses, just like gambling on sports, people still wanted in, and whoever made gains enjoyed making their gains. But once the government gets involved with something, that's when it ultimately falls apart. Now there's people who are like, oh, I thought you loved Trump. I thought you were a Republican. I think you people need to actually understand the difference between what these losers, these pieces of shit on Fox News are when they call themselves Republicans, and what a black conservative or what a classic Republican like Reagan. I think you people don't understand the difference between the free market and crony capitalism. I think you don't understand that. There's a big difference between capitalism and crony capitalism. What we have is crony capitalism. When the government picks sides and picks winners, like Elon Musk, when they decide that Tesla is going to be getting government subsidies of various types and Tesla's stock bounces wildly back and forth. When the government picks winners, like Donald Trump's over there kissing Kim Jong-il, this guy's a murderous dictator, kissing his balls. And he decides that he's going to go over there and try to make nice with him so he could put his hotels in fucking North Korea, or that he could put his hotels in Cuba. That's called crony capitalism. And you people do not understand the difference between free trade, free capitalism, and crony capitalism. Once you understand that, you will totally understand that anytime the government gets involved with anything it's fucked up forever. Free trade is the only way to save North Korea. Free trade is the only reason and the only way to save any system. But when the government gets involved, it all gets fucked. And I knew it was coming. As soon as I heard that bullshit about, oh, you're going to have to keep records and shit about your digital currency. The reason why people wanted it in the first place was because they didn't have to keep records. They didn't have to be regulated. As soon as it got regulated, it was fucked. And that rule applies to everything. African countries, Venezuela, third world countries who've seen their currencies ruined by the IMF and the Federal Reserve. Because when these libertarians start talking about how bad the Federal Reserve is, and they start talking about the gold standard, yeah, there's absolutely a lot of truth in what they're saying. In fact, it's mostly truth. The problem is they think that there's a way to go back to that. This government, once it gets power, it never lets it go. When you give up your freedom, you never get it back. We had freedom with Bitcoin. We had freedom with these cryptocurrencies. The government took that freedom away, and the government will never get that. They'll never give that freedom back to us. And the sad thing about it is what they always do is they always wait for a crisis to happen. In this case, oh, BitConnect, oh, it scammed everybody. You know what we got to do? We got to get in and regulate it. They rushed that tax bill so quickly, and you had all these stupid fucking Fox News watching retards applauding that shit. Oh yeah, we gotta regulate it because we could lose money. You stupid fucks. If you don't want to lose money, then don't invest in it. But while everybody else was investing in it and going up to 18,000, and you're sitting on the sidelines, oh, you were waiting for something to go wrong just so you'd have an excuse. And once you had that excuse, you let the government in, and once the government got in, ruined it. Now, Bitcoin had a very, very checkered past. It had ups and downs, but every economy has ups and downs. And the reason why is because there's always a bottom. If people choose that something shouldn't be invested in, they won't invest in it, and it hits bottom. Bitcoin hit bottom, but then people wanted it for whatever reason, and it went up again. But once the government got involved, the floor fell from under it. It will never, ever hit 20,000 again. I'll say that. It's not going to happen. And the reason why is because there's no more advertisement for it. There's no more advertisement for services. There's no more interest in it. The whole reason why people wanted it was because it was unregulated. But once you let the government in, everything falls apart. And just to prove my point, because there's always some asshole, stupid troll, oh, yeah, that's not true, you're not handicapped. Well, I'll tell you what. I got zero debt. I have my student loans paid off. My cars paid off. My house paid off. Meanwhile, the U.S. government is $20 trillion in debt to China. So before you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you should check your own balance sheets.